Jane Goodall at 90, a life fueled by purpose and hope. When Jane Goodall celebrated her 90th birthday in April 2024, she wasn't surrounded by silence or nature, the places she loved most. Instead, she sat at a small table in Manhattan, a swirl of people and cameras buzzing around her. The occasion was a partnership launch with Brilliant Earth, a jewelry brand donating $100, $00 to her institute and releasing an eco-friendly line of recycled gold lab-grown diamond jewelry in her name. The room was lively, filled with fashion influencers, media, and a lunch service. But amid the commotion, Goodall looked delicate and slightly weary. I leaned forward to ask the question that had been at the front of my mind. When you woke up this morning on your 90th birthday, what was the very first thought you had? Her reply wasn't what I expected, that I wish I was somewhere else, she said quietly. It caught me off guard, but her reasoning became clear. I like being out in nature, she explained, before mentioning the flood of birthday messages she had woken up to, the thoughts of her family and friends. Yet for her, the day wasn't about personal celebrations. This birthday is about my mission, she said with calm conviction. Getting the word out, raising money for our projects. That's what matters. That was Jane Goodall. Even at 90, even tired, even surrounded by noise she didn't particularly enjoy, her focus never strayed from her mission. Protecting the planet, inspiring action, and making sure her institute's work would thrive well beyond her lifetime. A relentless advocate, Goodall's life has been defined by more than her groundbreaking chimpanzee research. From the moment she first captured the world's attention as a young woman in Tanzania, ponytail swinging, notebook in hand, observing chimpanzees use tools to hunt termites, she was not just a scientist but a force for change. She often joked about how her early image in National Geographic brought unexpected attention. Photos of her in shorts led to comments about her legs, which some male colleagues claimed were the reason she got research, funding, and magazine covers. With her trademark wit, she brushed it off. If my legs were getting me the money, thank you, legs, she once laughed, patting her thigh, and if you look, they were jolly nice legs. It was typical Goodall, able to disarm sexism with humor while staying focused on what really mattered, her work and the chimpanzees she loved. Even in later years, when she admitted feeling exhausted, she never slowed down. Traveling nearly 300 days a year, she gave speeches, interviews, and talks across the globe, urging action on climate change, biodiversity loss, and conservation. It's no good just talking about what should be done, she would often say. We've got to flipping well do it. A voice for the planet and its children. Goodall's environmental message was always practical. She championed the 5 R's, refuse, reduce, reuse, recycle, and rot, as a blueprint for a circular economy that mimics nature's zero-waste design. For her, the solution to humanity's ecological mess wasn't abstract policy, but real changes in daily habits. She also believed deeply in the power of children. Her Roots Shoots program, which began as a small youth initiative, became one of her greatest joys. She insisted that young people were not only capable of influencing adults, but also essential to creating an ethical, sustainable future. The meaning of hope in conversations, Goodall often returned to the subject of hope. To her, hope was not naive or fluffy. It was action-oriented. At a climate event in 2024, when asked about balancing hope with false optimism, she delivered one of her most vivid metaphors. Hope isn't just wishful thinking, she explained. Imagine a long, dark tunnel with a star shining at the end. That star is hope. But there's no good sitting at the tunnel's mouth, wishing the star would come closer. We've got to roll up our sleeves, gird our loins, I love that phrase, and crawl over, climb under, work around every obstacle until we reach it. For her, hope was not passive, it was grit, persistence, and determination, a legacy beyond the person. Goodall often spoke of death as her next great adventure, a reflection of her lifelong curiosity, yet she never let thoughts of mortality distract her from the urgency of her mission. Her fame, or rather the reverence she inspired, was something she willingly used to push the world toward action. In her final years, she remained sharp, witty, and quietly powerful. Whether recalling her Welsh grandfather or joking about her legs, she carried herself with grace and humor. But above all, she carried her cause, saving the planet, empowering the young, and reminding us that true hope demands effort. At 90, frail but unyielding, Jane Goodall was still teaching us one final lesson, that hope is not passive longing but determined action.
For full video, click related link below or like and subscribe this channel.